Hey, it's Thomas here, and today we're going to be going over the best budget protein skimmers that I would actually buy and use and why. So if you're in the market for a budget protein skimmer and you want the best that money can buy for under 300 bucks, then you're in the right place. I think one of the biggest issues that budget reefers face is that there are tons and tons of products out there that are dirt cheap, but also don't work well at all and send you into an absolute sea clone of regret and buyer's remorse. Oh no! Meaning you would have absolutely spent less money getting something a little bit more expensive, but still affordable and also reliable right from the start, rather than scraping the bottom of the barrel. Rather than have you suffer through that experience like many reefers before us, I'm going to break down the best in some protein skimmer options for under that $300 mark so you can get a great piece of gear that will get the job done and done well while keeping as much of that coin in your pocket for splurging on corals. Because let's face it, that's what we all end up doing. No judgment here. All the skimmers I have lined up for you today have their own unique reasons that I'd pick one or the other, but none of them are a bad choice, and all can provide a great, reliable skim for your tank for the price point. And to keep things fair and relative, they all have models rated for heavily stocked 70 to 75 gallon aquariums that fall within our $300 budget. So those are the models that I'm going to be focusing on. So let's kick things off with the Octo Classic 110 INT. While this skimmer is probably not going to win any beauty pageants, don't let its old school look throw you off because it is a tried, tested, and true workhorse in the world of budget skimmers. What it lacks in a sleek, compact footprint and chic silhouette, it more than makes up for when it comes to performance, dollars to donuts. At barely north of $200, you're getting an Octo skimmer that will do the job and do it very well. It isn't lacking in features either. It has a tapered upper body, a collection cup with a drain port for use with an external waste collector, a reliable gate valve for precise adjustments, a dedicated air silencer, PVC union at the pump for quick disconnect, and rugged PVC and acrylic construction. Not only is the 110 rated for up to 75 gallons of heavily stocked Reef, even the larger 150 model rated for 120 gallons comes in under our $300 mark, which is super impressive. So if you've got the space in your sump for this skimmer and want to spend as little as possible on a protein skimmer while getting something that will be reliable and get the job done, the Classic 110 INT is the ticket. For those of you who are lacking space in your sump, don't worry, the rest of these skimmers are all compact models. Starting with the Octo Classic 110 SSS, this is easily one of my favorite budget skimmers. The Classic SSS series from Octo squeezes that Aquatrans pump into the skimmer body and swaps the gate valve and air silencer for a tall wedge pipe design to trim down on that footprint as much as possible for a more compact skimmer that will easily fit in most sumps. While it does bump up the price to around 250 bucks on the 110 model, both it and the 150 SSS come in under our $300 budget, which is awesome. The Classic SSS models have large skimmer cups, but they do lack a drain port, which isn't a big deal if you don't intend on using an external waste collector. The wedge pipe design works well for controlling the water height, while also being trimmer than the gate valve on the previous model. It does also work well as an air silencer for keeping things nice and quiet too. Ultimately, it's a simple design that simply works, and once again, you get a quality skimmer that is going to do a good job while keeping more of that moolah in your pocket so you can buy more corals, no judgment. Next up on the list, we've got Bubble Magus's Curve Elite 5. Now, I'll admit the Bubble Magus curve skimmers are newer to me as a reefer. Although they've been around for a long time, I've only recently been acquainted with them, but I gotta say I'm pretty impressed. It's pretty easy to see why so many budget reefers have been talking them up for years now, especially with the Curve Elite series. You get all the trappings of a modern skimmer in a very affordable package, like a wine bottle body, gear-driven gate for water level control, inverted cone inside of the skimmer lid, quick release tabs for disassembling the skimmer, drain port on the skimmer cup, an air silencer that comes apart for maintenance, and a CJPSK skimmer pump, which is one of the best pumps out there. So what's the catch? Well, I guess if there's any, I suppose it's the price. While the Curve 5 here sneaks into our $300 budget at 250 bucks and being rated for 75 gallons of heavily stocked Reef, the larger models blow right past it, with the 7 coming in at $370, meaning those who want something similar for a larger tank will likely need to look at the standard Curve series like this Model 7 that I've got here, which does swap a few of those more premium features for basic ones that still get the job done while shaving a few dollars off the price tag. Now, if you're extremely tight on space in your sump, which some of us definitely are, I've got something special for you with the Bubble Magus Z Series protein skimmers. Oh, so thin, we match. The Z Series is hands down the weirdest skimmer that I've ever had my hands on, but at the same time, it is a really novel way to get a protein skimmer's footprint trimmed down to a tiny rectangle, with the smallest model, the Z5, coming in at roughly 6 inches by 4 inches. While it is definitely odd at first glance, the design is actually quite simple. If you take a cross-section of a regular skimmer, then cut that cross-section in half, there you have it, the Z Series. The entire skimmer is made from injection molded plastic, so it does feel very light in the hand compared to acrylic skimmers. It also uses a variety of soft silicone parts for things you might not expect, like the quick disconnects that hold the body to the skimmer base, and the bracket that holds the recessed tubing into the body. It also has a very unique solution for controlling the water height in the skimmer body in the form of a belt-driven gate. It works quite well and has dead stops as well as graduated markings and just the right amount of tension so it feels smooth yet firm while you're making adjustments. Bubble Magus also did something pretty interesting by making the 2 basic sizes of the Z Series available in an upgraded model that sports a non-controllable DC pump for those looking for the quietest, energy-sipping skimmer pump possible while keeping things cost-effective. And on that note, one of the most compelling reasons to look at these skimmers is the price point. All 4 models of the Z Series come in well under our $300 budget, with the Z5, albeit rated for only 40 gallons of heavily stocked Reef, sitting at just $150, and the upgraded Z8 DC model rated for 75 gallons coming in at $230. The only real downfall of the Z Series is that they don't come in larger models, which kind of makes perfect sense since anybody with a 75-gallon Reef tank that has a sump is probably going to have a pretty standard size sump that is going to be able to fit your more traditional style protein skimmer. If you've got a keen eye, one thing you might have noticed that all of these skimmers have in common is they all have 1-point tuning for controlling the water height in the protein skimmer. While most reefers are going to find 1-point tuning to be enough control to get these skimmers hauling that nasty skimmate out of their reef tanks, some might benefit from a second point of control with the ability to tune how much air is being injected. The good news is any of these skimmers can be easily modified by placing an inline valve somewhere in between the silencer and the pump, or added on just before the air silencer, which will give you the ability to dial back the amount of air for situations where you have less organics in the water so you can create a stable foam. With that being said, I did find that these skimmers all have well-matched pumps for their size and are going to perform pretty dang well right out of the box for the average reefer. So if saving a few bucks and still getting a good skim from a reliable skimmer matches your reefing mantra, you can pick up one of these beautiful budget beasts by clicking right here.